You open your phone for a few minutes, and suddenly an hour is gone. It knows what you want. It keeps you there longer than you planned. But the real question is, what else did you lose in that time? Because there are Muslims who don't miss a single salah, yet their hearts feel distant from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are Muslims who know every ayah about patience, but can't sit in silence for 5 minutes. Believers who fast, give sadaqah, go to the masjid, and still feel spiritually empty. Because there is a fitna spreading through the ummah that doesn't look like fitna. It doesn't come through war or persecution, it comes through your screen. And most people don't even know it's happening to them. In Islam, the word fitna refers to a trial, a temptation, something that tests a person and pulls them away from the truth, away from obedience to Allah. The Quran and Sunnah warn us about fitna extensively, because fitna doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come with a warning label. Digital fitna is not a classical term, but it is a very real modern extension of that concept. It is the tests and temptations that come through our phones, our screens, and our online lives. And notice, it's not just about haram content. It's about anything at all, that distracts the heart, corrupts the soul, or quietly reshapes who you are. That is fitna. And today, it lives in the palm of your hand. Every generation has faced their own trials. But what makes this fitna unlike anything in human history? Unlike every previous generation, fitna is now constant. It never stops. It is personalized. It knows your weaknesses, your desires, your patterns, and it follows you everywhere, into your home, into your bed, into your moments of solitude. A person can be completely alone in their room, no bad company, no evil environment, and still be completely surrounded by fitna. No generation before us ever faced that. The Sahaba faced battles and hardships, but they could escape the fitna by leaving the environment. We can't leave our environment anymore. Our environment follows us. Now let's get specific, because digital fitna is not one thing, it is multi-layered. The first type, visual and moral fitna. This is the most obvious, explicit content, immodesty normalized, haram made to look beautiful and appealing. But here's what most people miss about this type. The real danger isn't a single moment of sin. The real danger is what repeated exposure does to the heart. It desensitizes you. Slowly, gradually, what once felt wrong begins to feel normal. And when sin stops feeling heavy, that is when the real problem begins. The second type, time destruction fitna. This one might be the most underestimated. Endless scrolling, short videos. Just 5 more minutes. Suddenly, 2 hours are gone. The Fajr window is gone. The focus you needed for Quran is gone. This type of fitna isn't always haram, but it kills Salah, kills purpose, kills your relationship with Allah. Time is your most valuable currency in this dunya, and the apps on your phone are built to take it from you. The third type, comparison and the illusion of dunya. You scroll through luxury lifestyles, perfect relationships, people who seem to have everything. And slowly, almost without noticing, your heart starts to feel like dunya is everything. This is how social media breeds hasad, envy, and destroys qana, that beautiful contentment that the Prophet ﷺ called a treasure that never runs out. When you constantly consume the highlight reel of others' lives, your own life will never feel like enough. The fourth type, ideological fitna. This one is the most dangerous, because it attacks your belief, not just your behavior. Doubts about Islam, misrepresentations of the deen, subtle, slow normalization of ideas that go against the truth. You don't even have to go looking for it. It finds you. And the most dangerous thing about ideological fitna is that it feels intellectual. It feels like just thinking. It feels like asking questions. But over time, if a person is not grounded, it can pull them away from the deen entirely. The fifth type, identity and ego fitna, validation through likes, showing off, building an online persona rather than a real soul. This is the fitna of riya, showing off, which the Prophet ﷺ called the minor shirk. When everything you do is for an audience, your prayer is for the aesthetic, your Quran is for the caption, your charity is for the story, you have lost something far more precious than followers. You have lost your ikhlas, and ikhlas is the foundation of every accepted deed. You might be thinking, fitna has always existed. Why is this so different? 3 reasons. First, it feels harmless. You're not doing anything dangerous. You're just scrolling, just watching, just relaxing. But the impact is cumulative. Like small drops of water on a rock, you don't notice the damage until the damage is done. Second, it is designed to trap you. The algorithms that run your feed are not neutral. They are engineered by some of the most brilliant minds in the world with one purpose: to keep your attention, feed your desires, and maximize your engagement. You think you're using the app, but the app is using you. Third, it enters without permission. You don't even have to search for it. It appears in your recommendations, your feed, your ads. This is the fitna that knocks on your door without being invited. And that makes guarding the heart harder than it has ever been. Here is what you need to understand most deeply. Digital fitna doesn't just affect your behavior, it affects your qalb, your heart. The more you feed the heart with digital noise, the more you will notice. Your khushu in Salah fades. You're standing before Allah and your mind is elsewhere. The Quran starts to feel less engaging than the content you scroll through. Dhikr becomes difficult because your brain is addicted to stimulation. And worst of all, you begin to stop feeling the weight of sin. That numbness, that inability to feel spiritually, that is not a small problem. Because the heart that can no longer distinguish between right and wrong, between heavy and light, that is a heart in danger. Here is a line I want you to sit with. Digital fitna is not just what you watch, it is what it slowly turns you into. Because habits shape actions, actions shape the heart, and the heart, the qalb, shapes your akhirah. Whatever you feed consistently, repeatedly, and without boundaries, that is what you are building yourself into. Now, let's be clear about something. This video is not saying throw away your phone. Technology itself is not the enemy. The same systems that expose you to distraction can also provide access to knowledge, reminders, and beneficial content. They can be used to learn, to reflect, and to strengthen one's understanding of Islam. It carries the adhan to people who have never heard it. It brings Quran recitation into homes across the world. Even this message is reaching you through a screen. The distinction lies in control, whether you are directing your usage or being directed by it. For this reason, the discussion of digital fitna is not about complete rejection of technology. It is about awareness, discipline, and intentional use. So we leave you with this. Take an honest account of yourself today. What does your screen time look like? What is your phone doing to your salah, to your focus, to your contentment, to your relationship with Allah? The Prophet ﷺ said, take advantage of 5 before 5, and one of them is your free time, before you become too busy. We are in a time where free time has been stolen from us, quietly, willingly, one scroll at a time. Guard your heart, guard your time, guard your akhirah. Because on the day of judgment, you will not be asked what your followers thought of you. You will be asked what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala thought of you. May Allah protect our hearts from every form of fitna, seen and unseen, and make our screens a means of coming closer to Him. Ameen.